Just give a round of applause to Dr. Umar very quickly.
How do you motivate young black men who don't want to be motivated?
Excellent question. Grab a seat. The question is, how do you motivate black men who are not motivated? Whenever I sit down to do some therapy, right? First thing I got to do is clarify the definitions. For example, if you say someone is unmotivated, what do you mean by that? But assuming I know exactly what you mean, the question then becomes, why is the black man unmotivated in that particular relationship? In other words, did he enter into the relationship for the wrong reason? We have to understand that a lot of us prematurely settle down with the wrong people because we're looking for somebody to save us. We have to save ourselves. If you are miserable before you get married, you're going to be miserable while you are married. We have to make sure we are happy first. Do you understand me? Because a lot of us do that. I want to find me a woman to make me happy. Can't no woman make me happy. All emotions come from the inside. From the inside. So the reason why our relationships are not working is because a lot of us are mentally unhappy ourselves. And then we go into somebody else's life and pollute their life with our emotional baggage. Do y'all understand me? So a lot of times the relationship dissatisfaction is due to the person, not the partner. But let's say he is to blame and the sister's doing everything right. Then my question becomes, why are you hanging around? Because I find too often that our black sisters put up with situations that are of no benefit to them whatsoever simply because they don't think they can get a better partner, which is traced to what? Low self-esteem, which is often traced to what? Not having that father who validated who they were as a child. Do y'all see that? So if you're in a situation that ain't working, why are we still in it? Now, you say, I love him, we've been together for a while. Okay, then tell him we could go see the pastor at the church, get some pastoral counseling, which can be very effective. Or let's get a trained therapist and let's do some family counseling. Sometimes you need that mediator because we don't know how to communicate with each other. So you need a third partner to communicate between you. So in a situation like that, I would say, number one, do you think the situation is salvageable? You might say, I think it's salvageable. Okay, let's go see the pastor. Let's go see a therapist. You might say the situation is not salvageable. Then pack your bags and roll. It is better to be happy by yourself than miserable with somebody else. And sometimes, I'm going to pick on the church for a minute. Not just the Christian church, but all of them. Muslim, Christian, don't matter. Sometimes the religious leaders, I think, oversimplify the marriage process. They look at religion alone. Stay with me. And they say, he's a Christian, she's a Christian, it's good. He's a Muslim, she's a Muslim, it's good. I'm going to come back to you. Oh my God, well, they off the hook. The youth are off the hook. Most of the girls don't give themselves enough time to find the right partner because too many of them are looking for a replacement for their father. That's the problem with the teenage pregnancy situation or the young adult situation. Ain't really about the relationship. It's really about the relationship they never had with their biological father. So what I found with the ladies is they go from one relationship to the other looking for somebody to love me because the number one love affair I should have, not sexual but spiritual, the number one love affair I should have with my father never took place. Boys can do the same thing. If you got a boy who never had the nurturance of his mother, he'll become a type of man who looks for a woman to take care of him. How many of us know men like that? Who they get in a relationship, they don't want to work, they don't want to do nothing. Take care of me. You see that? They're still looking for that maternal energy, which is why when we date, we got to study our potential partner a whole lot deeper. We stay on the surface. What kind of job you got? Do you got good credit? Do you have a prison record? How many kids you got? Important, right? But that's not my first question. My first question is, did you grow up with your father? And what kind of relationship did you have with him? And what kind of relationship did your mother have with him? Because if you did not like your father, no matter what I do, you're not likely to ever like me either. And too often, ladies, y'all do not study the relationship that the man has with his mother. And too often, we don't study the relationship that the woman had with her father. That's the blueprint. If I don't like my mother, sooner or later, I ain't gonna like you. So we got to study that. Give ourselves some time. We got to get to know the person. Sometimes we introduce sex too soon. And once you introduce the sex too soon, you start operating under an obligation that was never agreed to. Once sex comes into the picture, the man start expecting stuff, the woman start expecting stuff. You can't expect nothing from him if y'all didn't talk about it, and I can't expect nothing from you because we didn't talk about it. See, assumptions. We love to assume. We get married, I assume you gonna cook. Maybe you don't cook. Now, if you don't cook, I'm not marrying you, okay? But maybe you don't cook. You might marry a man. Maybe he's not good with his hands. Maybe he don't take out the trash. Maybe he don't fix flats on the car. Maybe he's expecting you to do it because maybe his mama did it. We got to talk about that. It is the values that you must have in common with your partner. What are the values? God. If you somebody who into the church, what you gonna marry somebody who ain't for? Money. You like to save money? Why you marry somebody who like to spend? Family. You like to spend all weekend with your children? Why you marry a man who like to hang out in the street with his boys? Parents. You have a mother and father who you're really close to. They always come to your house. But your husband got parents he don't really like. And he feels some kind of jealousy because you're real close with your parents. So he don't want them around. Y'all should have talked about that. You have children already. I have children already. I got to get to know your children and see if I can be bothered with them. Because they might be bad as hell. You got to get to know my children. This is serious. Because when you don't like somebody's kids, or they don't like you, the relationship will not work. Because the first thing he's going to do is tell his grandmother, Mama, he don't like me. And your mother going to put pressure on you to leave him. Or vice versa. And you know the biggest mistake we make dating? We don't include our parents in the selection of our mate. We choose on our own. If I'm 37, right? I've never been married. Hopefully one day I will because I want a son, right? Been dead, everything. But listen. Why would I settle down with a woman who never met my mother? When you all who are mothers, if a woman walk in that door right now and I say, is she good? You know right there. Don't trust her. Well, she's good for you. You know because you're a woman, you can read the energy. If a man walked in there and he'd a minute here, you can look at it and say, he ain't married my daughter. And the daughter like, why? He nice, he clean cut. Because you can tell. A man know a man. He's a hustler. Y'all see that? A woman know a woman. She kind of hot in the pants. You know it. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to choose my wife, and I'm not going to ask my mommy or my grandmama what she thinks, because I think I know it all, because I'm Dr. Umar. And you know what? I'm going to end up with an early termination to that marriage, because I should have had some elder energy involved. Some elder energy. What if before anybody got married, we had to come and sit down with the elders? And the brother says, well, you want to marry her? Why? Your parents got divorced. How do I know you want to stay married to her? You got 2 other children out of wedlock. How do we know you ain't going to get her 3 or 5 babies and then split? And if we had to answer to somebody other than ourselves, because right now you ain't got to answer to nobody. You can get married, get divorced, and you ain't got to answer no questions. But if y'all made us elders, made us come and sit with y'all, why do you want my grandbaby's hand in marriage? Now I'm going to make sure I'm coming correct. And if we do it that way, it will be harder to get a divorce because we don't have to work through nothing. Now you can get a divorce for what, $5 overnight? What kind of stuff is that? We don't even work through nothing no more. So we got to talk about that. And ladies, I know this is going to make you mad at me, but I got to throw it out there. It ain't enough men to go around. So some of y'all are going to have to share. I see my old hair like you get him all in. Okay? So you follow me,